All right, welcome back. Video number 2 in the work that you missed. Our first video, we used this simple piece of paper and some benchmark angles to determine what an angle may be. In this video, we're actually going to learn how to measure using a protractor. So like I said before, they come in many shapes, sizes, colors. Some of them are round. We're not going to be using that one. This is a pretty good one, but I really like this one. And the reason that I like this one better than this one is because it has a nice straight line from my 0 to the middle, where we're going to be measuring from. This one's okay. It has a nice little hole and some crosshairs there. And I will demonstrate using both of these to show you some of the important things that you have to do. But first, we'll just take a look at this sheet. So this sheet has our angles. You can see this angle here. You can see this angle here. And what you have to notice is the very center of our angle, where the two lines meet. It's called the vertex. So arm 1 goes this way, arm 2 goes this way. And the important thing to remember with angles is you have to imagine that P, which is right here, this arm, was originally down here with R, and it opened up this way. So once it opened all the way to here, it creates this angle, and that's how we indicate our angles when we draw them. Okay, or we mark them, so we don't measure the wrong side. So we have to envision P and R being in the same place at the same time, like the arms of a clock. And P decided to leave, and he goes this way all the way up to here. So we can see that he goes through, he intersects two numbers. The numbers that are there are 110 and 70. So as we discussed in the last video, a protractor has two ways of measuring. You'll see a 0 here, and it goes 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. There's also a 0 here, and it goes 10, 20, 30, 40. So we're measuring from this side here. That means we use this 0. So we count from this 0 up to where the arm or ray of our angle is. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So it's 70. It is not 110. That 110 is measuring from this side up, where that's not what happened in this angle. And this is another reason that we always make sure we put an arc in the angle that we're measuring to remind us that we started here and we ended here. So we're measuring this opening here. Okay, so let's do one. This one here, N and L, and here's our center. So our arc is this way. So we started here and we went that way, in that direction. Okay? So that means we're starting at our inside 0. We're not going to start at 180 and count backwards. We're starting at 0 and counting up. And using our benchmark, we know that our answer should be more than 90, because 90 is right here, which is a right angle. We went past that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 120 degrees. So it met what we said it would have to do, greater than 90. You see it's 120 or 60 here. It wouldn't make sense for us to go past 90 and have 60 for an answer. So that's 120 degrees. Now it's a little different actually having to measure an angle than already having the protractor placed for us. So we know how to read it, but one of the important things is knowing how to place it. So if I have my protractor here, where do I put it? How do I orient the protractor to make sure that I'm measuring the angle? I mark my arc. So I'm starting here and I'm going this direction. So the important things to remember, on your protractor there's always crosshairs. and that's where our vertex goes. So we put that there. Now, the second thing that we have to remember, I'll zoom in a little bit, is that our zero, our line, has to be on our ray. You can see right here that I'm off it a little tiny bit, so that's going to give us an incorrect reading. We get 0 on the line, and our vertex on our crosshairs, our vertex, I should say, and we're measuring from this side, I said, so we're going to skip from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, and there's 150. So we're right in between 140 and 150. So what does that mean? That's 145 degrees. So it's larger than 90. 145 is larger than 90. So I'm confident that answer is good. Now, I said I would do both. This one's a little different. This one has a crosshair and a little dot, a little hole in the middle. You could put a dot through it if you wanted to. So that helps you with lining up your vertex. So looking at this angle, it started here and it went this way. So we're going to be measuring how much it opens from the right. So we get the vertex in our dot at our crosshairs, and we get our 0 lined up with the ray. And we see that we're measuring from the inside on this one where 0 is. 0, 10, 20, there's 30, so it's right in between. That would be 25 degrees. So then I think of my benchmarks again. Wow, that's a lot less than 90. It's even less than half of 90, so 25 makes sense. So you guys can continue working on that, and I'll be here to help if you need me.